can you tell us about what led to these protests, and I mean, what do they aim to achieve? Because if we look back at the last 2 or 3 years, this has been a trend where there have been protests against a number of issues. Now, there's nothing wrong with protests, but what is wrong and worrisome is the way they have been turning violent. Now, this happened with the anti-CA protest. This happened with the protest against the agricultural reforms, and it has happened with a whole number of other things. So, what is driving such violent street protests in India?
Okay, let's break it down.
Yeah.
First, inability of the government and the system to communicate simply and effectively fast. Secondly, ability of the vested interest to miscommunicate and misinform faster. And thirdly, a vendetta group which wants to see India derailed, which wants to show India to the world as a nation that is unstable, a nation that is not secure or safe, and a nation where you cannot come down and invest and set up at a time when India is pushing the growth story, and it is pushing the story that we are the more stable, secure, vibrant, viable alternative to an autocratic institution or establishment like China, which whose intent is to cannibalize, use anything and everything under its comprehensive national power strategy, where it wants to dominate and eventually cannibalize you. So either enslave you economically or militarily or culturally. That's their objective. Our objective is to work and to show that India is a base where it's not just a market for you, but you can also market to the world from here. That's the story that India has been setting. We are the fastest growing economy. We have got the fastest numbers of improvement at all the SDGs. We are opening up. We've broken down 1,500 different laws. We are climbing up on the ease of business. We are trying to create a single market window, and we are a vibrant democracy with a fantastic demographic dividend and abundant resources. So we've got all the positives going. So how do I kill this positive narrative? I create disruption. I create misinformation. I get this demographic dividend out on the streets and burn and break and create public disorder. Then I string this narrative abroad, put it on front pages as op-eds, and say, "Listen, India is burning." So this is plain and simple. If you and me can understand this and appreciate this, clearly the government also understands this and
Yes.
appreciates this. The speed with which they moved to try and counter and quell the protests around Agnipath, had they done that with CAA and with farmer protests, it wouldn't have happened. They allowed situations to brew, giving the point that they want to create an atmosphere where they are not going to quell protests. They're going to say everybody has equal rights. Everybody has the right to this one, and we will continue to say our piece. Let them say their piece. So they were not brutal in cracking it down, but they were slow in trying to ब्रेक मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन. तो ये ना जब तक सच कुर्सी से खड़ा हुआ तब तक झूठ पूरा शहर घूम के आ चुका था.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So that's exactly what's happening here. Reforms are the need of the hour.
Yes.
The world wants India to push the pace of reforms for it to come and invest here. We are trying to push the reforms, and there will be others who want to block this reform. See, interestingly, now we'll come to WTO in just a bit, but those nations who are backing the farmer protests, where the farmers were using MSP as a reason to try and quell the farm laws, although those two are separate issues, is the same group of nations called the Keynes Group and some of the others who are blocking India giving MSP at the WTO. There they are saying don't give food stock safety and public stock safety.
Yeah.
And here they are backing the protest, which is demanding the same.
Yeah.
So you see the double game they're playing.
Absolutely.
So you and me can see it, but the government has to communicate that to the common person.
Right.
That they have
Absolutely.
to communicate better.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.